Kimi Raikkonen, man. One of the most popular drivers on the grid, and you can see why. Was the meme lord? Perhaps the milk lord is now overtaking him, but we still all love him. We still absolutely love Kimi. And still in 2019, he has given us some brilliant highlights on track and off track. Just a quick heads up, apologies if you're hearing this every single day, but if you're new, we do this every single day. In the build up to Christmas, we're doing a driver review almost every single day with a few other treats sprinkled in, so feel free to subscribe if you are new. But let's talk about Kimi Raikkonen. I think perhaps this is an obvious observation, but the first half of the year was a hell of a lot better than the second half of the year. Before the summer break, Kimi Raikkonen scored in every single race except Spain, Monaco, Canada, and Germany. Fair play. Fair play. That's very respectable. In Germany, he did score, but he got that penalty thanks to the kerfuffle the team did with the pre-race start. So a very, very respectable record in the first half of the season, finishing outside the points 3 times, pretty much. That's brilliant for a team that a couple of years ago were at the very back of the grid. People were questioning coming into the season whether Raikkonen had made the right choice staying in Formula 1, whether he should have just retired. But we saw some brilliant racecraft from Kimi Raikkonen, more often than not fighting for that best of the rest title. And I think at the halfway point, a lot of people wouldn't have been silly to put some money on Kimi Raikkonen being best of the rest overall, thanks to his consistency and just his overall demeanour. He just seemed to be so much happier and more calmer. I mean, Kimi Raikkonen can't be much calmer, but in that environment in Alfa Romeo really seemed to suit his needs in Formula 1. I think a lot of us were really happy to see that old Kimi back again. But the second half of the season didn't go great. 1 points finish in the entire second half of the year. I still read that now, and I'm absolutely gobsmacked. The only points finish Kimi had in the second half of the year was a 4th place in Brazil. And we all know what happened in Brazil. And yes, 4th place is brilliant. But my God, what a turnaround in form, not only for Kimi Raikkonen, but for the Alfa Romeo team in general that had started the year so well, but tailed off so quickly over that summer break. Whether they're developing the car for next year early, I don't know, but what a real mess the second half of the year was for Alfa Romeo. This is the head-to-head with his teammate Antonio, who we've already done our season preview for a little bit earlier on, so you can check that out on the channel. It's 12-9 in the quali battle to Kimi Raikkonen, and actually Gio really clawed that back in the second half of the year, but as you can see, Kimi has the edge quite comfortably in the race battle, 18-3. 43 points to Kimi to 14 for Giovinazzi, and 12th in the standings overall. Isn't too bad for Kimi Raikkonen. His own statistics look a little bit like this. No wins, no poles, no podiums, but did come very close in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Championship position is 12th with 43 points. His best qualifying was a P5 in Germany. Yes, that was helped out by the 2 Ferraris having their own mistakes, but still, that's a very impressive qualifying, and for the most part, a very impressive race that was from Kimi Raikkonen, really showing his experience, and that race in that Brazilian Grand Prix, which was pure chaos, a P4 in the end for Kimi, which was a big result for the team. P4 and P5, that was huge. When you consider, I'm going to have to keep saying it, the no points scored in the second half of the year, which in itself doesn't paint a full picture. A retirement for Raikkonen in Singapore, a retirement for Raikkonen in Mexico, but we also saw in Belgium he qualified so well, P6, right up at the front. First corner, contact with Verstappen, pretty much game over. Had to do stops early, front wing. It was a mess. But I think, looking at the year in a whole, when you consider the amount of criticism coming his way, he'd lost his way at Ferrari, wasn't the old Kimi Raikkonen we'd seen. He's not going to be able to fight in the Alfa Romeo. I think he's really established himself, I think, perhaps not so much in the second half, but definitely in the first half, as one of those key drivers in the midfield, one of those best drivers in the midfield. And on his day, very easily, he could be best of the rest. And it's difficult when analysing Raikkonen's season. It's almost the opposite to the likes of Gasly and the likes of Alex Albon, because it started so well and it's just tailed off in the second half of the year, which I think at the halfway point I gave Raikkonen an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I think it was 8. But thanks to the second half of the year, I can't justify maintaining that record, despite the fact that just like the Haas boys, just like the Williams boys, the main issue at the team is the car, not the drivers, it's the car. And even Gio, when he picked up points, it was only little scrap hits at the end of a race. And Monza, where Gio scored points, it was Raikkonen who was in the top 10 in quali, but binned it through the parabolica in quali, didn't get a run out, had to start from the back, and just a little mistake on that instance cost Raikkonen. So I think he's been really good this year. Again, it's been so difficult to judge the second half of the year with Alpha just dropping off a cliff. So I'm going to give Kimi Raikkonen a 7 out of 10. I would have loved to have given more, but I just needed a few more points in the second half of the season. But Alpha really needed his experience this year. I'm super glad he's still in Formula 1. I'm super glad he's at Alfa Romeo. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. A new one of these every single day, so if you're craving a bit of Formula 1 at the moment, feel free to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.